Greetings, sentient beings. This broadcast is not intended for children. There will be strong language and adult themes. So how's everybody doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm probably not going to figure that out for some time yet.
Oh, what a craptacular morning. Oh, what a craptacular day. I have a craptacular feeling. Nothing is going my way.
Yeah, I'm currently just being overwhelmed by the practical stuff and paperwork and notifying all the various government departments and things.
Yeah, I know how that is.
It certainly didn't help that it happened on a holiday weekend because try to get any response from a government department on a Saturday or Sunday.
Jeez. Let's see, we got Demon Orb, Pragmatic Crystal, Skitscratcher Beck, Al Trucker, TV, YouTube Me, Galacia,
Mark C.
Greg,
and Greg Hartwick,
Clairview, Randall Magley, Stephanie,
Galicia, Al Trucker,
Randall.
Did you get Skitscratcher?
I got Skitscratcher.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for coming. So, yeah.
Lone Wanderer just popped in.
And Stephanie.
And Spooky Bed Hair
just popped in too.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Slothgirl checked into the hospital last Wednesday, which is why I missed the stream last week. And they were talking about getting her into a hospice home because everybody was still assuming at that time that she was going to have at least several months yet. And she died Friday night. So, but at least I could be there with her. That I went in and I brought some stuff, intending to just stay the night in her hospital room there. Just in case, she was having problems or needing help with something.
Well, I hope everybody else out there is doing okay. And that mythological thing or concept that things happen in threes isn't true, because we've just not been having any joy in Mudville here.
Well, look at it. Well, look at it this way: we had Diana, and then we have Slothgirl, so we only got one left.
Yeah. Well, remember, Slothgirl and I had just taken a trip down for her uncle's funeral, so if you need to call it 3, we got them.
Sounds good.
Yeah, works.
So, yeah, but her son and her daughter and granddaughter had been at the hospital earlier in the evening. So, she got to say goodbye to everyone. And yeah, her son and I were discussing that we had never hoped that we are more wrong about religion and the afterlife, but
I don't know. Even though, the religion talks about, the idea of being reunited with one's ancestors in the afterlife is a nice idea. The idea of living forever is not.
Yeah. Well,
After,
the idea of being reunited with your family in the afterlife is why I can't believe in heaven. Because there can be no version of heaven that my oldest brother and I could both be in together without one of us having our mind wiped.
well, the concept I had for an afterlife just was like one of the last concepts I let go of. Something along the lines of that movie "What Dreams May Come," where everybody could have kind of their own version.
Yeah, that was a great movie. I've always thought if there is an afterlife that reincarnation makes the most sense, but if it's just kind of your spirit getting put into a new body, but you don't have any memories of a previous life, does it really matter? Because you've kind of lost that sense of self anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But Slothgirl will live on forever in our hearts. She'll never be gone as long as we remember her.
Yes. Yep. As long as somebody remembers.
The Wayback Machine will. All her puns are on the line, so they're out there for forever.
Well, and we were talking about, I was talking with the kids about not having any voice recordings, and she was in a couple of streams. So I don't know when, and it'll take a lot of digging to go back through all my old streams to, find a couple she was in so that I can, clip out the conversations she was in.
I'll help you out with that.
I have a voice recording of a voicemail that my dad left me that I've left on my phone. And I never thought to save one from my mother. So I asked my siblings if any of them had anything from my mother, and none of them did.
Yeah. It was something I had always regretted with my late fiance, that I don't have any recording of her voice. And that's with Slothgirl. We had always been waiting for a day that she was feeling a little better, that she was going to try to sing again. She had a lovely singing voice. When we lived in Michigan, she was a bit of a local celebrity, because she was one of only 3 people on the karaoke circuit that could actually sing.
Let's see.
In a small town, there wasn't much entertainment, so that was a pretty big deal.
Thanks, YouTube.
That people were actually calling the bar ahead of time to see if she was going to be there that night.
I imagine the bar probably gave her free drinks.
Well, there was always people willing to buy her drinks.
Well, I'm thinking the bar would have wanted to have some kind of incentive to make sure she came.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, again, though, it's the second time in my life that somebody who I thought would always be there for me for the rest of my life is gone.
Yeah, I've come to expect like everybody's gonna go away.
Yeah, well, I've been joking a lot about that. I am cursed to outlive everyone I know, and that keeps seeming to come true. I'm sorry, people. I haven't been doing very good about following the side chat. I see
Yeah,
I've
it's
been flagged
understandable.
several times. Yeah. Okay, we got Claire. Yeah.
Early in the chat, Mark Caesar posted that he'd be willing to help you if you need anything.
Yeah, and I've been getting a lot of offers of help, which I really appreciate. Logistically, there's not much anybody can do if you live, hundreds or thousands of miles away.
Yep.
You can meditate.
Yeah. So I do have a regular therapist, and like I say, her kids are really, really helping with this. Slothgirl's friend went yesterday and brought her son back here, so he's going to be staying up in her apartment for the next week, and just sorting through and boxing things up. And her daughter and granddaughter are going to stop by, after work a couple of evenings during the week. So, getting some help with the practical stuff. It's not like she had a lot of leftover expenses, so, money isn't really an issue. So, I don't think there's no purpose in like doing a fundraiser or anything like that. And
We have all her burial arrangements done.
Well, yeah, she wanted her body donated to research.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things that I'm trying to get the final paperwork for that worked out, and the hospital's kind of bugging me because they want somebody to come and pick up the body, and apparently there were some irregularities in how the paperwork was done. But fortunately we did get all the stuff signed and notarized, as far as her giving me power of attorney and everything, so I can take care of getting her utilities shut off and accessing all of her accounts.
Mm-hmm.
Was it really important to have that dot above the I?
Well, yeah, otherwise it's an L. But yeah, her instructions for a funeral or memorial as such is that she just wanted me to take all the money left in her bank account, buy booze and snacks, and we all go out to her daughter's place and have a bonfire.
Okay.
It's a little hot for a bonfire this time of year.
Mm.
Depends on where
Sometimes
you
in the evenings it dips down into the 50s here yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only going up to 90 to here today.
Yeah, I was checking out the weather last night, and I noticed yesterday the Phoenix, Arizona reached 117.
Yeah. Well, Minnesota is known for having temperature swings of more than 40 degrees in 24 hours.
Yep.
Greg, I'm sorry about your friend there. That's a bummer.
Yeah, I was just catching that one. Well,
I got my third piece of the triumvirate.
You do it, Purple.
I said I got my third piece of the triumvirate of death. A couple days after Slothgirl, my friend of 50 years back home, passed on.
That's rough, Jenny. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard. Somebody that long, you should know.
Yeah, it's especially hard when you've known someone for so long that they've imprinted on so many different parts of your life then.
Mm-hmm.
So, in honor of Slothgirl, I was asking everybody to bring some bad jokes with.
I got the worst possible joke you can imagine. Can I go first?
Oh, go right ahead.
Okay. Here it is. Trump.
Yeah.
Always political.
I brought a dad joke.
Okay.
A woman asked her mate to bring home a gallon of milk on the way home from work, and said, "And if they have avocados, get 6." He came home with 6 gallons of milk, and she said, "Why 6 gallons of milk?" And he said, "They had avocados."
Yeah.
Alright. What does the house wear?
There's
A
a woman
house coat?
on Twitter. She's also on TikTok, and her thing is that she finds bad grammar, bad sentence structure on signs in products of various types. Sometimes it's a word, sometimes it's a typeface, sometimes it's the pairing of letters in the typeface, that say terrible things if you read them right.
So anyway, stepping over my joke there. The question was, what does the house wear? A dress.
Oh. Yeah, I just want to let people know that, no topic is out of bounds. Oh. Beck found one of the streams
Hey,
that
Beck.
Slothgirl was in.
Good.
So that's a good starting point. Thank you.
Nice to see you, Beck. It's been a while.
I just want everybody to know that no topic is out of bounds. That driving down for her uncle's funeral, she was making jokes about death and funerals on the drive. So, if you've got some bad funeral jokes here, it's fully welcome.
Tubian has a joke in the side chat there.
What do you give a sick bird? Tweetments.
Oh, I thought it would be an X.
Did you hear about the kid got kidnapped at school?
Nope.
He was fine. He woke up.
Oh,
I get it.
Oh, okay. It took me a while.
Absconders? I feel that's a word I should know, but I'm not quite sure.
You abscond with something? Steal? Take?
Yeah. Okay.
I've never heard absconder, but
yeah, I haven't seen it in that form. But go right ahead, Mark.
I think he's asking if that topic would be out of bounds.
No, that's what I'm saying. Go right ahead. That's.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. He's saying that absconders are out of bounds.
Oh, okay.
That's the joke. Okay. Took us a while. Sorry, Mark. We're a bit slow today.
Yep. Well, one of mine, which wouldn't be funny if it wasn't a real thing, is that on the medication they gave me to help me sleep, it says caution may cause drowsiness. So there's a chance that this could actually work as prescribed. And then there's another sticker that says alcohol may intensify this effect. So is that really a warning or a serving suggestion?
I once had they used to sell this can like about the size of a big spray paint can, and it was a fire extinguisher that you could keep on the shelf. And on the instructions of how to use it, it says, "Do not expose to open flames." Yes. It just seemed to be a very odd thing for a.
The Parmesan cheese used to say on one side of the label, "Keep in a cool, dry place," and on the other side, "Do not refrigerate."
Cheese?
Hey, Arla.
I always keep my Parmesan cheese in the refrigerator. It works
Yeah, they
fine.
eventually took the do not refrigerate off of the label.
Although I can tell you that even if you don't refrigerate it, the stuff lasts for months,
Mm-hmm.
which something proclaiming to be a dairy product that can last that long unrefrigerated makes me suspicious, but
It's being dried out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've kept cheese that's fairly dry cheese for months as well.
yeah.
You know, if you bury a bottle of Kraft Parmesan cheese, it will turn into a fossil.
Well, the stuff that comes in the shaker cans, if you look, the ingredients include cellulose.
Wood chips.
Yeah, that they are literally adding sawdust to it to keep it from sticking together.
Yep.
Mm.
From what type of wood?
Well, on the store brands, they usually go out after a heavy rainstorm or hurricane and pick up sticks. The higher companies actually cut down trees.
Well, as long as they're not doing it on the Sabbath, because then they could get struck by lightning. I would have thought that it would have just got the the dust from the sawmills. The paper mills are a big business in northern Wisconsin, turning tree trunks into paper.
Tubian says, on top of spaghetti, all covered with wood.
Yeah.
Well, why not even go to the iron and cereal is actual iron. Take a magnet over it, you actually can get the little bits of iron come up.
Yeah, I've seen that. Well, one of the jokes that Slothgirl was telling the nurses in the hospital there, what do you get when you cross an elephant and a rhinoceros?
Something really horny.
Alfino.
Mm.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, sloth girl. That's what really did it. It wasn't the cancer. It was her jokes.
Mm.
That got her.
Well, you know what? Maybe Satan brought her down to hell because her jokes were a good way to torture people who actually had a good sense of humor.
Oh, okay. I can buy that, I guess.
I don't know, when my dad survived 20 years after a cancer diagnosis. And in my head, I was always picturing it being as God and Satan were playing poker and the loser had to take him.
That was a long poker game.
I think
Yeah,
my
I think
mom.
it was one of those things that every time somebody lost, they said double or nothing.
I think my mom lasted 4 years after she was diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer. I don't know for sure because none of my family would tell me she was sick.
We had the same problem with my husband's mother.
Yeah, why do people behave that way?
I don't know.
As far as tattoos go, Slothgirl had her one sloth tattoo on her arm. And we're all going through our files to find the best pictures of it. And all four of us, her son and daughter and granddaughter and myself, are all going to go in and have that same tattoo put on, so that we will all have that as a constant memory of her.
You
Which
didn't
is
do that.
very appropriate for me because currently my only tattoo is the sigil that my late fiance used to sign her paintings. So I'll have Slothgirls put on just above that.
That's cool.
That's a worthwhile tattoo.
Mm-hmm.
Less painful than notches.
Notches?
Yeah.
Don't the notches heal over?
No, you put a notch in your gun stock when you, or something like that. Notch in
Yeah.
your belt.
Well, I got the notch in your gun stock, but I didn't see how that was painful. Of course, I would think that too many notches in the barrel of your gun would weaken it and make it explode on you.
No, you put it in the stock in the wood part. Jeez.
Yeah.
Tsunami, are you familiar with the story The Ransom of Red Chief? And I wish I could remember who the author is. It's a famous short story author. But basically, the Ransom of Red Chief was these guys, kidnapped this kid. It was like a 10-year-old boy or something. And, they sent his family the ransom note, and the family basically said, nah, you keep him. And they kept reducing the amount of the ransom until it came to the point that the kidnappers were trying to pay the family to take him back.
Ransom of Red Chief, short story by O. Henry.
There we go. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
How short is it?
1907.
Well, paper's not very thick, so I can't imagine it's more than a few millimeters.
There was a movie that I saw, 30, 40 years ago called Savannah's Smiles. It was an absolutely delightful family movie about these two men that kidnapped this 6-year-old child. And they so fall in love with her that they give her back, but they make the parents promise to be nicer to her and to do all these things for her.
That sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Greg got it too there.
Anybody of note in it?
In Savannah Smiles?
Mm-hmm.
Oh gosh, I don't remember. It's been so long.
I remember the promos for the movie, but I never did get to see it.
Calling IMDb. IMDb, please.
Yeah,
answer
I'm looking
your
it
phone.
up.
I love IMDb.
Mm-hmm.
What a great site.
Yeah, it can be wrong though at times.
Yeah, I've picked up a few wrong ones.
Fortunately, I have quite a few things that Slothgirl made. And actually, directly above my computer monitor, I have a cross stitch of a Triceratops head that she gave me for my birthday about 6 years ago.
Yeah, the MDB can also leave stuff out. I remember this one guy who's a writer who actually worked on some of this stuff on there, and he wasn't even listed. Like, yeah, I worked on that. I'm not even listed here.
Peter Graves was in it.
Oh.
The little girl that starred in it died in 1997.
Al, if you have things that disappear and come back, that's gremlins. Gremlins think that it is the greatest joke in the world to take something from you and replace it as soon as you buy a replacement for it. They'll bring it back as soon as you get a replacement.
I once wrote a short piece on where do socks go
Hey, Tria.
when they disappear. I thought it was pretty funny, but nobody liked it, I guess.
Look under the dryer. I'm serious.
I don't wear socks.
Okay, I got another joke for you. I'm addicted to brake fluid, but I can stop at any time.
I once had a can of brake fluid that on the back it's giving the instructions and descriptions and stuff, and it insisted on spelling brakes BREAK. It was a product from MidAmerica gas stations, big
So
national
is that
chain.
the stuff that the mechanics are supposed to, sip on when they're on their 15 minutes?
Guess so.
Well, I ended up calling the company and I said, "Look, you guys, you really got to change this. I don't care about it being wrong information, but you sure make yourself look stupid as fuck."
Yeah.
And then I welcomed them to farm out their proofreading to me, and I'll take care of it for them. They didn't like that part.
Yeah, well, you see a lot of that stuff, when it's a foreign product and it's been translated, but for a product that's supposedly made in the USA, no, there's really no excuse for that.
It's actually a fairly common mistake that people make. I see people spelling a brake as a device versus spelling it as a broken thing. It's amazing how stupid people are.
Yeah, I suppose I shouldn't mention in a live stream that I know how to sabotage that without it being noticeable, but
Well, always cut the line for the right rear, because chances are that's the side of the car that the driver won't observe getting in and out of their car.
no, there's a better way than cutting the brake lines. One that would be much less noticeable in an accident. You just go and replace the caliper bolts that instead of the what's the standard that are like class 5 or class 8 bolts.
12.9, 10.8, 10.9, 12.9.
Yeah, well, you just go and replace those with the standard, steel bolts that they use like for putting decks together. It'll work fine on very slow stops, but the first time they have to stomp hard on the brakes, the brake caliper will fly off the wheel.
Well, I needed to get some brake fluid for my car, but I didn't have any money, so I just got brake fluid instead.
That is what we called our used brake fluid at the shop. After we ran across that misspelled product, that's how we started referring the bad stuff to brake fluid, broke fluid. It was fun.
Another one of Slothgirl's favorites was I'm surprised that Disney hasn't put advertisements on the Hulk, because after all, he's just a giant banner.
I should have used that one in my video.
It's yours now.
I already did the video.
Hi, Kitty.
Hi, Kitty.
Oh, Kitty, hi.
In a long time.
Yeah. Well, I texted Kitty with the news because I didn't know if she had been getting on at all lately.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm glad to see you. Hey, Kitty.
We've missed you, Kitty.
Yes.
Spooky says, "Give us a break, Jenny,"
Yeah, I noticed. I'm trying to ignore it.
because he spelled it wrong.
If you didn't get the news, Diana also died a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, I had not had time yet to fully process Diana going.
Yeah, neither have I.
Yeah, because we hadn't heard from her for a couple of months, so it still has a sort of unreal feeling to it. Hey, Commander. Yeah, with the sloth, it's really hard to tell. Well, not only do they move so slowly to begin with, but they actually can go into a state of torpor where basically they can reduce their breathing and heartbeat down to a point of it only being like one breath a minute.
Try is here. Hi, Try. Haven't
Yep.
seen you in an absolute coon's age.
Yeah, well, she posts stuff on Twitter usually about her gaming group. So I see her once in a while, but not very often. I'm sorry, not she. You're going by they now, aren't you, Tria?
Where's my scorecard?
I'm not sure what your preferred pronouns are at this point.
He, him.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Hey,
Hello.
kitty.
Hi, Kitty.
Quiet.
Right.
There we go. No, I had
Okay.
to switch it. It was coming through speaker, and I didn't want like a reverb echo thing.
Okay, right.
So I had to make sure it was in my AirPods, but I had to do that through StreamYard's thing. I couldn't do it from my phone, so
Right. Okay.
this is just
How?
really sad. Like it's my uncle passed away last week, and then, first it was Diana, then my uncle, then Slothgirl, and then a friend of mine had to be the one to disable their father's pacemaker, and today was the day that they went. It's like everybody's going recently, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't like it.
2020 all over again.
No kidding. Like that was the year we lost Bowie, wasn't it?
2010 for me.
But I've just been kind of doing, my own thing. Like I've just had to kind of check out like from just online stuff, like especially with the election year. Like I'm keeping up on the news, but I just haven't had the spoons to really do stuff. Like even on TikTok, I'll make a quick little thing with like something crocheted and then that's about it. Like I just haven't had the mental capacity to deal with any of it,
Yeah.
But, in memory of Slothgirl, I wanted to at least pop in and say hi to everyone because I have missed you all.
Yeah, I know you've had a lot going on with your family, so I understood.
Want me to play the video I made on my new channel?
Oh, I would not mind that at all.
Sure.
It's kind of somewhat dedicated to Slothgirl here.
Okay.
There it is.
How long is it?
A little under a minute, or a little under 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
It's not that long.
Yep.
got the my new robot character perving on a image.
Is the backdrop picture here something for Slothgirl too?
Yeah, it's something I whipped up through AI, real quick. So we had something. I'll show you guys what that looks like.
Aw, that's adorable.
Yeah, Midge created that just for the stream.
Could
Yeah,
you send? Could you send one to me?
Sure, I can post that in the group.
That'd be a cute avatar.
Let's see. Put. The robot just starts telling a bunch of jokes.
It's only about 4 millimeters tall.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Want to hear a joke?
Not really.
How was the robot gorilla thing? With the monkey wrench. How many ears does Mr. Fluff have? Answer is 3. 3. The left ear, the right ear, and the final front ear.
Ugh.
I'm looking to sell my DeLorean. Only driven from time to time. Why did Worf change his hair color? He was a good baby time.
Please stop.
Why do Daleks eat apples? It is an apple. They keep the doctor away.
Daleks don't even have mouth.
A human, an elf, and an orc walk into a bar.
The hobbit laughs as it walks under it.
I'm leaving.
Where did Luke get a cybernetic hand? The second-hand store.
That
Comedy!
Bye.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, and the voice of the robot is actually AI generated through a text to speech. Each thing I have on Novel AI, they do a random generator on there. So I just generate a bunch of different voices and then do a little fiddling with it with all that and more robot like. I'm just gonna use the robot as a sort of a backup in case I can't get longer videos out, so I have something I can still put out real quick.
Yep, I'm just looking for something I should have had set up here before we started. But of course, I can never remember what folder anything winds up getting put in.
So while you're looking for that, one thing, I remember Slothgirl enjoyed was, her fiber arts. And right now I'm working on a bandana. It's for one of my like online friends that just started working with one of my like in real life friends. They're really big, like she's really big on TikTok. Her name's Moxie Rose and she's like a sex educator and like also a burlesque dancer. Like she's fabulous, but her hair is split dyed, half white, half black. So this is gonna be like a little head bandana for that. And I'm trying to see if it'll work with me carrying the yarn instead of having to tie off and then start all over again. And also, I've been just working on crochet stuff. Like this is the back to a mesh sweater that I'm working on for myself. And I even started teaching myself how to knit. And I couldn't get my head around it, at first, but I don't know, just like kind of inspiration. Like it was less than a week ago that inspiration struck and I saw something and I was like, I'm gonna give it another try. And I uh I think it's coming along pretty good. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this yet, but I decided
it's
go
a
big or go
watermelon.
home.
It's a
Kind of.
watermelon.
It's actually like rainbow yarn. Like I'm doing a whole rainbow thing right now. But I actually had a couple of modeling gigs recently. One of them was for that real life friend of mine who runs a fashion company that they are like custom clothing for essentially like, corn stars, quinky people, cosplayers, and like those in like the BDSM lifestyle, like that kind of thing. And so I did a photo shoot for that for one of the things that they were doing. And then also my hairstylist, she did the rainbow in my hair and had a photo shoot done for that as well. So that was like really fun and validating, to like get 2 modeling gigs within the span of like a month. I was like, yay, my team.
Yeah.
Did they actually pay you?
Um, so the modeling gig, the hair, I was paid in the hair because like this is hundreds of dollars worth of work that I didn't have to pay for. And for the other one, I've worked with him in the past, and this was me kind of doing him a solid, but it was still the whole being asked. And then anyone who purchases the item that like I'm modeling, they have an option to tip the model, and anything they tip, all of that goes straight to me.
Oh, cool.
So I'll
cool.
randomly see like a little thing in my PayPal. It's like, $10, $30, whatever.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh, apparently somebody bought the Coven set.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, what I modeled for that was a jewelry set. So it is a bundle that has the secret wrist cuff, which it's a leather bracelet that can also be turned into restraints, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
And then the other one is this necklace here. Here's the switch necklace with the chains. So it's basically like, a little leash and thing.
Can you make those pictures bigger? I can
Oh,
barely see Kitty's face. It's so small.
sorry.
There we go.
But so here's the necklace, and then there's the chain.
Is that knitted or crochet?
No, this is metal.
Oh,
This right here is jewelry. So there's the necklace, and it's basically a bundled set with the secret wrist cuff, and they called it the Coven set, and it comes in the black and red, which are very much my vampy colors. And that's the thing that when people order it, if they decide to tip the model, all of the tip goes to me. And Pierre usually gives me crochet commissions here and there where I'll be working my little fingers to the bone, making things like crocheted magic wands and, butt plugs and stuff like that.
Crochet butt
but
plug, huh?
I actually have made a ton. Actually, I am pretty
Of
sure I have pictures on my
crochet
phone.
butt plugs?
Yes, they're a novelty item.
Oh, okay.
So think like something you would put on like your shelf or whatever.
Don't you just use like a Christmas tree pattern?
Not exactly. But here I've got
I would
pictures.
think that there'd be more of a market for banana warmers.
So like that kind of thing.
Oh, that's funny.
Or maybe make them as covers for your butt
Or
plug.
the anal beads as well.
Oh, jeez.
But I ended up making a crap ton of them, and I was paid quite well for them.
The picture with the butt plug, is that a wand?
Yeah. It's basically kind of like a mini Hitachi. It's like styled off the Hitachi. And then there was also the run of these little guys.
Oh, jeez.
And the little ones. The big one I made for a friend. But this was the first commission run that I did for Pierre, and then it was the crocheted toys, and they were basically included as a free gift with purchase. So I got paid for making them, and then other people got to benefit off of that when they placed an order. And then I got commissioned to make more of just the Hitachi like magic wand ones, and yeah. So I've been
If you took
doing
if
stuff.
you took one of those butt plugs and you encased it in liquid plastic that crafters
Yeah, the
use.
resin.
I mean, yeah, I suppose
Yeah,
that
I
could
guess
work.
that would work. Yeah.
Oh, so here's the rainbow in my hair, like when it's in better lighting.
Oh, that's nice.
And let's see if I've got the one from behind. It looks like magic, you
That really
know,
is neat.
because it just barely peeks through. Because essentially, I have a mohawk of blonde up top, and then everything underneath it is all dyed.
The coolest multicolor I had ever seen was what
It
was
took
very early in the times where people are starting to color their hair, all sorts of stuff. And this woman had, it was just perfect. You look at the back of her head, hair's hanging down about the length of yours, and you see nothing. It's just her normal hair color. But as soon as you put your fingers in it and like just move it along, everything behind it is rainbow.
Yeah.
It was just beautiful.
It's similar to what was done here.
It's similar.
No, I've never done a crocheted condom. I mean, theoretically, it would be possible.
I don't think they'd be very effective.
No,
I mean,
don't
I
think
would
so.
be more worried about the person being penetrated. Like, that would be really scratchy and uncomfortable, you know? Like, just saying, I don't think there's enough Astroglide in the world to make that work. But I've also been doing, like, little amigurumi plushies.
A butt plug cozy, huh?
I mean, hey.
Yeah, that would work.
I don't know. I guess my kiddo ran off with it, but like the most recent thing that I made for him is this little like crocheted snake. But he asked me to make him a bigger one, and I don't have any of the plushies on me, but one of my friends is an OnlyFans model, and she asked that I make Corn Star. So
show again.
Hold on. I accidentally messed up the thing. So that was while I was working on it. I've got the star and then the corn, and the corn is so stinking cute. It's got the little leaf, and you know, it can hide cozy in its little leaf. So the little corn star thing, because you got to get around TikTok's you know, algorithm for like naughty words. But gods, let me see if I can find. Oh, I also was doing granny squares because I'm working on a pillow for my sister and her husband. So there's the little
That's neat.
skull granny square, and then the sunflower ones, because sunflowers are my sister's favorite. And I mean, I'm chaotic neutral, so I make them a gift, but it's going to be a pillow where one side is the skulls and one side is the sunflowers, and then they can decide whose side gets to face outward on the bed. So, you know, like, I've got to feed the little inner demons a little bit.
Lately, I've been getting into these videos or Vampire. Probably, I don't know if you've heard of it or not. It's a series on YouTube. If you haven't heard about it, I recommend checking it out. You probably like it. They basically take a bunch of songs and do sort of like A&B videos, but they do a lot of artwork, and they create an entire story series on these two vampires.
Sorry, I just made myself sad.
Oh, what'd you do?
I was like looking for the pictures of the crochet stuff, and my sister, her dog had passed away, and then she rescued a kitten, and they had the kitten for 8 days, and then it didn't make it, and so a picture of me with a kitten, and I'm like, mother. Okay, scrolling past that.
Well, if it helps any, Molly's still doing really good.
That's awesome.
That's good.
Yeah, I have. I have Slothgirl's cat Petunia down here with me now.
Molly heard her name, came over, and she's cuddling into my foot.
Yeah.
So these are the bandanas that I'm working on. I made some for my hairstylist's granddaughters. So these are for the two girls because one loves pink and one loves purple. And then I made one for her as well because she developed an allergy to hair dyes, so she can't color her own hair anymore. But she missed having the blue, and she had a vibrant blue like this. So I figured, like it's not the same, but it's still pretty cute. And I even did a sparkle yarn on the outside border just to give it a little, to zhuzh it up just a little bit.
I want
That's
one
nice.
of the rainbow flag colors.
I actually made rainbow ones for the girls at first, and I made a rainbow one for my sister because I've got a rainbow yarn down here that so yeah, I just honestly someone said crocheting is like stimming with purpose, and like it is so true.
Yeah.
I just like kind
Mhm.
of like turn my brain off and just try to create because life has just been a lot,
Hmm.
and so I'm just like, nah, anything to, just not think, you
Have
know?
you ever watched any of the knitting and or crochet shows on PBS?
PBS, no. I watch a lot of YouTube though.
Mm.
There are a lot of fiber artists on YouTube doing knitting and crochet. Like that's how I learned knitting, at least the basics. Like I'm still a complete novice at it. I've been doing it less than a week. But considering, I've only been doing crochet for less than a year, like for whatever reason, like I've picked it up pretty quickly. The knitting, like I said, the inspiration just struck a couple of days ago. And I was like, you know what? Let's go. It's been less than a week, and I don't know, like before it didn't make any sense, and now I at least have my brain wrapped around it enough that I can
Well,
do a basic stockinette stitch.
if there are any supplies you need as far as needles or hooks or anything, um, we're going to have quite a lot of things like that to be giving away.
I'll let everyone, I mean, I have a lot of stuff, so I'll let everyone else get first dibs, but if there is anything left over, I at the very least would like to have at least one thing from Slothgirl.
Yeah.
Uh, Did she still have that thing that I made for holding the hooks?
Yep. She was still using that.
That really makes me happy. And like I'm getting emotional now. Jesus. Like life has just been a lot
Yeah,
lately.
and I know she's got a lot of half-finished projects, but there's also a bunch of finished projects up there too. So if anybody, wants some kind of a keepsake, I'm sure we can find
Early on,
something for everyone.
after she was first diagnosed, she sent me some embroidery skeins and things like that. I got them right here. They're 5 feet away from me.
Yeah,
Aw.
she also used to do cross stitch, and one of
Oh,
my
that's
favorite
neat.
ones. Yeah, one of my favorite ones of that she did with the cross stitch is one that just says, "Don't piss me off. This is proof I can stab something 1,000 times."
I was legit gonna ask. I never got around to it, but I was honestly gonna ask her to make something similar to that for me. Because, like, well, I don't have the patience to stab a needle that much. It takes a lot of patience to do the other stuff that I do. I could never get into cross stitch. That was always my mom's thing.
those
I was thinking
kinds
about
those
trying some
kinds
cross
of
stitch.
those kinds of embroidery things, needlepoint, whatever you want to call it. Um, they've really with foul words and language on them have really become popular.
Yeah, well, she also has quite a collection of ribbons that she won at county and state fairs for a lot of her crochet work. Her crochet dolls, especially, had gone over very big, and when we were living in Michigan.
Are you going to build some kind of altar, or I don't know what they call it when you have a display in your house that
A memorial?
yeah, that'll work.
Or even calling in an altar is fine.
Yeah, a memorial altar would probably be the closest thing I could think of, you know. My grandfather had one for my grandmother after she passed, and he had it for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I wasn't so much going to have one specific spot, but I'm already kind of just surrounded by things she made throughout the room.
I mean, at least, you get to keep a little bit of like her creative energy with you, you know?
Yeah, and I can't do artwork myself, but this is something I had commissioned for her birthday 2 years ago.
Aww.
It says Slothgirl will save the day. Eventually.
That's adorable.
You have to send that one to DM so we can get that, have like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can post it to the Twitter group.
Have any of you seen that video that's been going around of a guy who plucks this baby sloth off the road?
Yeah.
And gives it back to its mother, and she reaches out to thank him. It was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah,
It was so cute.
Yeah, that was great.
But honestly, Purple, like my biggest concern is you. How are you doing?
I don't know yet. I have always had kind of a delayed reaction to emotional things, and it's kind of the bigger the impact, the longer it takes it to hit me.
Well, like I said, you have my number. If you need to contact me as in mental breakdown, go right ahead anytime. Doesn't matter what day or night.
Yeah, I also do have a regular therapist, and an emergency number for the therapy center. So, I have professional help available when I need it. There's been lots of people who are saying I could call anytime, and I know with our community, I could start up a random live stream at any hour, and get at least 4 or 5 people in there regardless of what time of day it is.
I haven't
I
been
just
sleeping
happened
very
to see
well,
the
so
notification, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh goodness, like, and I popped into the live chat, and then I remembered, the group DM. Like, I'm never on Shitter anymore. Like, it's just ever since Elon Musk took it over, I just
Well,
can't
I'm
be
only on
bothered.
it for the private groups because there still really isn't another service that lets us, set up a group with 20 people that is strictly private to only those 20 people.
you can do it through Facebook, but it's a little more fiddly.
Yeah, I can't get on Facebook. They locked me out of my account. Which,
Weird.
actually, I only wanted to get on there to delete that account because I didn't, want all the old stuff there.
I mean,
So
you
I
could try
probably
reaching out to support.
Yeah, but see, unfortunately, to actually reach out for support, you have to first log in. Otherwise, all it does is keep sending you around in a circle the same 3 web pages.
Yeah, I hate Facebook.
Yeah, I never go on Facebook. Not since 2015. Like occasionally, like I'll see a notification for like a memory, or I do have like Messenger, and like there's some people that I keep in touch with that, but there's a difference between Messenger and full on Facebook.
Well, see, that was the problem. This last time I logged in, they flagged it as suspicious activity. So they wanted me to verify, and it's like, okay, the first thing is they want you to send a picture. I never put a picture of myself up there in the first place, so all they had was the illustrated avatar. So then the next thing is, they want you to, verify the credit card that you used there, and it's like, it had been Well, no, I had one time used a credit card there to make a donation like 8 or 10 years ago. So, of course, since it was so long ago, that card is expired.
A driver's license will work. I've had to deal with that before with account issues.
Yeah, but
Anybody asking for your
I
credit
can't
card number
even.
is a scam.
No, it was a fundraiser being run by people I knew. But yeah, I figured that there should be the thing for the driver's license there somewhere, but there's no way I
Different.
can get to that without logging in first.
And haven't you had a name change? Or
Well,
have you
that,
not gone through with that yet?
yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got a social security card and driver's license in my new name.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, that's why my little tag on Twitter says recognized as female by federal and state government.
Makes sense. I didn't pay too close attention because, like, whenever I'm there, I just have all these, like, turfy people, like, forced into my suggested, and it's like, I don't want to see any of this. I've never interacted with any of you. Like, I don't want to see what Joanne Rowling is posting about. I don't want to see what any other random bigot is posting about. Like,
Yeah.
why are you putting this in my, like, feed? Or not my feed, but like, you know, like when you go to like your notifications, it'll just like
Yep.
all these things push to me. I was like, I don't want that. So I just
Well,
stopped going on there.
and
Rowling
one of
had
the things is on the side feed, it does give you a choice on some things of, I'm not interested or don't show me this anymore. But one item it does not give you that choice on is sports. It will push sporting events on you, and you have no way to tell it that you're not interested in sports.
Rowling has me blocked.
Lucky.
I think I got caught up in a blockchain.
I have said some nasty fucking stuff to her, and she just will not block me.
Because like when I
She
go
probably
to like
thinks I'm cute.
when I go to like the recents, you know, in the thing, I'll see posts from people that I don't follow and that I've never interacted with.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, sure, I mean, I probably agree with Rob Reiner on some things, but I don't follow him. I've never interacted with him. Like, and I see a lot of stuff from Joanne, and I'm like, no, I don't want anything to do with this. And like,
Well,
even if I say I don't want to see it, like,
is your also if your setting is set on the very top for you and rather than following, you'll get a lot more of that garbage.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
well, it's just under notifications and just all, you know? And so, like, I get notifications for things that I've never followed. And, well, with Joanne, I have made comments on her posts when I've seen other people, you know, like, at least I believe I have in the past. So that one at least makes a little bit more sense where it's like, because I was like, you know, you're just a hateful person or something along those lines. I didn't get blocked, so I guess she didn't see it.
Yeah, that'd be probably just people responding to or liking your post or whatnot.
But no, it's like actual, like, there'll be a star next to it and it's a post from Joanne. And I'm like, I don't follow her. Like, why are you showing me this? Like the one from Rob Reiner. I don't follow Rob Reiner.
in the notifications, you're getting that because you made a, I guess you made a post there on JK's things telling her off or whatnot, and then people are responding to that.
Okay, this is something I know a lot of people are still a bit confused about. Slothgirl and I had tried to live together before, and it didn't work out for us. But before we moved, we had to make sure we could find 2 separate apartments in the same building so that we could check in on each other every day. So, yeah, we weren't technically living together, but we had dinner together almost every night.
You were basically next door neighbors.
I need to get going, but thank you very much for having me on the stream.
Oh, always love to have you here.
And I miss you, Kelly.
You again, Kitty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to see you again, Granny.
Yeah, thank you, Jenny.
Let's do a show of some kind together.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Yeah.
I have missed everyone.
Well, we've
Oh,
missed
and
you.
Mark was asking about Diana cutting off communications, and yeah, Mark, I do think that was at least part of it because Diana kept saying that she didn't want to be a burden on anyone.
I understand that feeling.
But yeah, I understand her not wanting to be a burden, but you know, it really bothered people in the community a lot more that she wasn't talking to anyone, that we went for so long without getting any kind of updates.
Yeah, we had to
I
get
mean,
through people.
just, to give like perspective, like obviously I am not going through what Diana was, but as somebody who deals with debilitating chronic pain, like it's exhausting and it takes a lot out of you. And no matter how much people tell you that you're not a burden, it very much, there is that demon in the back of your mind that is cutting you down and saying
Yeah.
that, you are making life harder for everybody around you, and no amount of reassurance will permanently silence that.
Well,
It,
especially if you're in constant pain, that's going to tend to feed into the depression and, make you have more thoughts like that.
and depression and mood then increases your pain because those things are linked. So,
Yeah.
like, when
Well,
I
that's
am
how
feeling
people
more
spiral
down,
down. Yeah.
yeah, when I'm feeling more down, my pain levels are higher. When I'm feeling better, usually my pain levels aren't as bad. I mean, I can still be in a good mood and be having a bad pain day, but there is a much more correlation there. So it is like a vicious cycle where you feel down, it amplifies your pain, which makes you feel more down, which amplifies your pain, and
Yeah.
it just spins out of control. So like
Well,
again, I understand, I don't agree with that, like,
yeah.
with what she did, because ultimately, even if you do have those voices in your head, like, you can't just shut everybody out, because it's unfair to other people too. And while nobody is entitled to your time, when people are trying to express that they care for you and you shut them out, like, it's not a nice thing to do, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, regardless of the reasons, like, I've spent a lot of time, since you told me about her, like, just thinking about it, and, everything that I had heard, like, from the few people that I talk to, now and again. And it's not that I don't love all of you, and it's not that I don't wanna talk to you, it's just I tend to, like, retreat from social media, and like most of the connections are on Twitter, and just logging onto Twitter just causes me anxiety. Like, just
Mhm.
opening the app makes me feel anxious, but I got past it to hop into the stream because I did want to see everybody. Um
Should we get
I
you on Purple's Discord?
I think I'm on Purple's Discord, but like that's another thing. I honestly haven't been doing social media much other than
Yeah.
TikTok. And even that, if I open up my TikTok right now, you'll see my TikTok friends. I have hundreds of messages that I haven't, because I'm one of those people that gets anxiety where if I see like a bunch of unread messages, like I just can't open it. Like it's weird because like I know I should, to clear the notifications and stop like the spiral, but seeing all like the unread notifications, I just get overwhelmed by it, and I'm like, nope. So I will just breeze
Yeah.
right past it.
Hi, Scummer. I'd just like you all to take note that I changed my avatar to everybody's favorite transphobe, JK, whatever her last name is.
We can always
Okay.
tell. But in some positive trans news, one of my friends, she should be getting out of surgery now, but she is having her surgery today. And so like I'm super happy for her, and wishing her a speedy recovery. But she had to
Hmm.
go on a road trip uh from, because she lives locally, and she had to go on a road trip up to New York to get the surgery done because Florida is not a safe place. But you know, I'm wishing the best for her, and I'm happy that she's finally, you know, like, because it's been bothering her for a while that she wanted the bottom stuff dealt with, and she'll finally have that. So I'm like
Yeah.
cheerleading from the side for her, like super happy for her.
That period of time between when you come out and when you can actually afford surgery is the most horrible weight thing I've ever had to do. It's just absolutely intense. It's such a,
Yeah.
you know, it's right in front of you. You can taste it, but you haven't got any money.
Yeah,
You know, it's just so
Yeah.
unfair.
that's a special kind of hell.
Well, back on the pain thing, that Slothgirl had actually been on at-home hospice care the last 4 months. That, you know, they after her last time in the hospital, they had found that the cancer had metastasized to her bones. So there wasn't anything more they could do. So yeah,
Other than
she
try to
was,
keep her comfortable.
yeah, she was in severe pain to the point that they actually gave her a bottle of morphine to keep in her fridge, you know, and the nurses had showed me how to administer it for her.
We've recently gained a bunch of oldies here for viewers. Pasta Babe Linda,
Yep.
and Scummer, and Claire, and
Well,
Bree.
Pasta Babe Linda does her own stream late on Saturday nights. So I've been catching her stream a lot lately.
Well, hi all you guys who just showed up. Nice
Yep.
to see ya.
I guess Purple had messaged me.
And Bree.
She messaged me about Diana and told me about how Slothgirl had been moved to hospice and that it had metastasized. So I knew about that part when she told me about Diana's passing. So just seeing the notification pop up on my phone, I wanted to come in and just check in with everybody and just, you know, I'm alive, and like
Yeah.
Purple's good about like every couple of months, like just reaching out, hey, you doing okay? And it's like, yeah, I'm getting by, you know, like things aren't great, they're not awful, you know, same shit, different day kind of thing.
Yeah.
But she's really good about making sure to check in with me. So
Well,
and like, yeah,
I've got
I
a
appreciate
handful
it.
of people who have trusted me with their phone numbers. So, you know, if it, like, you know, winds up going more than a month or so that I don't hear from them, when I think about it, I will.
And it is much appreciated because it lets me know that you care, and
And
I do
actually,
appreciate that.
it's something I've meant to bring up for a while, that anybody who cares to trust me with your information, you know, I would be interested in, you know, in keeping an index so that if something happens and if somebody is offline for too long and people are asking about them, just, you know, just so that I could check in with them and then just, you know, put a note, like if for some reason you lost your internet or something, just so I could let
So,
people know you're okay.
like a community prayer tree sends the prayer,
Yeah,
you
well,
know?
well,
Scummer,
just so
Scummer,
that there'd be another connection if somebody lost their internet.
Scummer. Who is Suella Braverman?
I don't know, but it does seem that the results of the recent election are making the UK a bit more optimistic.
Yeah, the Labour Party has many people in the Labour Party have taken up the hate trans people banner.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm glad that Corbyn won in his district, but I mean, ever since the party like booted Corbyn, it does seem that Labor has, been going more steadily to the right, kind of like the Dems in the
Mhm.
US. Still, between the two options, getting the Tories out after having power for a decade and a half, like it's better. But yeah, Keir Starmer, like, fuck him, honestly.
He said some plumb nasty things about trans people.
Yeah.
I wrote him. I sent him a tweet. I told him go fuck off. Go
As well you
Yeah.
should.
stick
Well,
Big Ben up your ass.
What, like,
honestly, right now we've got so much personal stuff going on within the community that I don't really have the energy to follow politics.
That's
Yeah, I know what you
fair.
mean.
Oh, Liz Truss lost her seat. Excellent.
That is good news. But like I said, Jeremy Corbyn was the only one that I was happy to see win. And I was watching one of the YouTubers that I watch, he's a Brit and he's a socialist. And while I don't agree with him on everything, I think he's actually I think he's like an actual communist. But regardless, like a lot of things I do agree with him on, and I like sampling from different points of view, even if we don't fully sync up. And he shared some footage where like there was somebody like doing interviews in Corbyn's district, and this woman runs up and, flags the guy down and tells a story about how, she was in a DV situation and was homeless and she was on like this wait list for like a council house, and she wrote to Jeremy Corbyn and he helped like smooth things over and get her into a council property and like get her out of a bad situation. And, she wasn't there canvassing for him or anything. She just saw that there was someone interviewing people about Corbyn and she wanted to share her story. And that, as a survivor myself, like that speaks to me of the kind of character he has, but ultimately it's, one thing, and I don't live there, but it was heartwarming to see, at least in that woman's case, she was helped to get out of a bad situation. And, it does
Yeah.
look like the lefties are making progress. Like even the election in France, like the left won that. So, I'm hopeful that
Well, I think
it'll
the
get better.
U.S. I think the U.S. should take a page from what the UK did a while back, and nobody likes either of our current presidential candidates, and it's just the so obvious candidate for the Green Party is that they should run ahead of lettuce.
No, it should be some bud of marijuana. Just,
Yeah.
like
Is
green, and announce it at 4:20 in the afternoon.
is pot legal in UK?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Scummer? Tell me true. Romper stomper bumper boo.
I thought that Scummer had said at one time it was, but I'm not sure. Oh, nope. He says no.
I know it's legal in Canada.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's legal in a lot of
Minnesota.
places in the US. It's legal for medical here in Florida. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
unfortunately,
what?
the medical here in Florida though is it's a lot of loopholes to get through, and they have some. Well, it's very narrow as to what you can use it for.
Well, and one of the things people need to be aware of is if you're traveling, even if you're going from a state that it was legal in into another state that it is legal in, the fact that you have crossed the state lines means you have just committed a federal offense.
which should have been rectified. Like,
Biden,
Biden could have
Biden
Yeah.
is he is
fixed it.
trying to do that.
He could
He
do
has
it
written
through.
cer- he has
He could do it
written
through.
certain.
He could do it through executive order.
He has written a number of executive orders dealing with it, but it's a complex rat's nest of bureaucracy.
Yeah.
But he
I
wants to
know.
do it that way.
Well, I also know he was trying to get it at least lowered from being a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 drug.
Yeah.
Well, he
And
was looking into it, so you know.
I'm
and
going
that
to form a committee to look into potentially doing it.
Yeah.
I
It's so
think
Come on,
that's
frustrating.
been accomplished.
Yeah, I think that one was accomplished. I think you're right.
Okay,
But I
well,
mean, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I need a group of people for something that I realize is going to be, kind of a fairly large project that we have to get done in one night. But I just think that we should sneak out there at about 1 o'clock in the morning and just move the Canadian border 300 miles south.
Yeah.
No, who wants South Dakota? You have to be much more selective.
As
okay,
long
but
as
here's the thing.
Minnesota becomes a Canadian province, I'm going with it.
Here's the thing. You might not want South Dakota, but if you just, offer relocation funds to all the fucking conservatives there saying this is now going to be the communist state of blah blah blah, they will flee. That will be a solving issue. They won't want to live under communist rule. Like, even if you don't actually make it communist, just the threat would be enough to get them to GTFO. And
Well,
it's not like
cool.
there's that many people in South Dakota anyway.
No, but it would open up a lot of housing space then for all the people from Georgia and Florida who want to move up there.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
But South Dakota does have one thing. They have the most accurate shooter in the governor's house of the whole country.
It's one person. I'm sure it's fine. But no, like, unfortunately, I've yet to win the lottery. But Purple will be one of the first people that I call if I ever do and get started on my commune, because I just want a place where, kind-hearted and crafty people can come together and just look out for each other, like community. I want a community that looks out for each other, and anybody who's a decent person is welcome, even if you're not physically able to tend to greenhouses and any of the farming or anything. We'll find something that you can do to help. And even if you can't do anything, that doesn't matter. You could absolutely, help by reading stories to kids, because we'll have school and library. I'm talking about building an actual community, an actual commune community that is as self-sustained as possible.
Kitty, when you do this reading to children stuff, are you going to require them to wear drag queen outfits?
I mean, while it would be a funny meme, I personally wouldn't, because I would not want to impose on anybody something that they don't want to do.
It would not be required, but it would be encouraged.
Yes, there we go. It's encouraged to dress in drag, even if you're not a drag queen or king, because, fuck the haters. But it is not a requirement, because again, we can find something for everyone to do, no matter how small, and that's the thing. And it's not about you have to work to be here. That's not it. It's about feeling part of the community by contributing in some way, because I don't want anybody who's disabled to feel like they're a drain. So it's by finding something they can do, it's as much for their own sense, because we're so conditioned that you have to be this productive member of society, which is just bullshit. Because honestly, we're on the fast track to automation replacing most of the jobs, so it'd be impossible to be a productive member of society. So, that aside, it's one of those things. Why not just have a community where everybody can just get along and look out for each other?
Becca and I have had numerous numerous conversations about this. That we have the skills and the tools. That especially the repetitive stuff for building a house. We can teach other people to do that fairly quickly. And yeah, if we had a couple dozen people in on this, we could put up a bunch of tiny homes in a matter of weeks.
I can be the commune's welder.
See, there you go. And I would work on like handicrafts that we could sell at like markets and fairs. So like I'll get together those like creative types to make things, and we'll have a big like room decked out with all kinds of like fabrics, yarns, sewing machines, like the works for all of the stuff that you might want to make to sell at markets. And we'll have community garden farm kind of thing where like we make our own food, but then like we can take the extra and sell it at the farmers market to bring in money for the commune, because unfortunately we're not post-capitalist yet. So we do need to sustain our little community, but making things to sell, we can set up a metalworking thing for doing blacksmithing, making like custom like cosmetic swords and knives and things like that. Like I've got a bunch of like people that would be totally in on making costumes and other things, so we can handle like the cosplayers and the Ren Fair people and like all kinds of stuff we could make and sell to then help support the community.
Yeah, like I said, I'm good with gardening. I'm good with animals. I could probably handle some of those tasks.
I could make real knives for you.
Yeah, Mage could be our gardening supervisor and teach a bunch of people how to handle the gardens.
It would be brilliant, and I would absolutely love it.
If we could get Stephanie Helms in on this, because she already has industrial sewing machines that are strong enough to sew leather, and I actually did start dabbling for a while in designing tents. I just didn't have a sewing machine that could handle that heavy a canvas.
Bree, how about if we get you pygmy goats and those fainting goats?
They're so cute.
Yeah, they are.
Ooh, and I actually have a friend that would totally be in down for our commune, and he not only knows how to repair sewing machines, but like he's one of the crafter types like me, but he also knows how to spin wool into yarn. So we could have a bunch of like sheep and alpacas and so on. And we could make our own fiber to sell and to use in our crafts. So
I actually built an upright spinning wheel for a woman one time.
I love that.
We need somebody who can actually process the animals. I mean, I can raise them, but I can't slaughter them.
Yeah, I have a problem with that too. Although that I couldn't kill them myself, but I have been involved in processing a deer after my brother and my cousin shot one.
I'm sure we can find somebody that can handle that one, especially if they're not, the one tending to the animals every day. It's a lot easier to detach yourself from something like that if you're not the one raising them from like baby to adult.
Well, see, I'm not a predator. I'm a scavenger. I'm not going to actively kill anything, but if it's already dead when I get there, I'll eat it.
You don't have to worry about that. Everything's going to be dead in a couple of years with these temperatures nowadays.
Oh God!
Give it about 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, it's a little bit easier to do with chickens because you only go for like a few months raising them before they're ready for slaughter. And the meat chicken specifically, it would be abusive to let them grow and become adult.
Yeah, because they've been bred to the point where like it is just not life sustainable
Yeah,
Wait.
they develop all sorts of problems, and it's actually cruel to let them keep going.
I mean, it was kind of cruel to fucking engineer him that way in the first place.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah,
you know,
there's
that
a lot
damage
of
was
animals
done.
that we pretty messed up their
Like turkeys have to
genetics.
be artificially inseminated because they cannot mate properly because of how they were essentially crossbred and you know, through eugenics turned into birds with large breasts. So like,
Yep.
yeah,
When it-
turkeys can't get it on and have to be artificially inseminated.
and unfortunately, the scientist that did that was a average American male, and he was trying to have all women have big breasts, and it ended up falling into turkeys. It was a mistake.
That's funny.
Well, there's
Yeah, having
Drew's
an
got an
apiary
idea.
would be awesome.
Yeah, that beekeeping would be excellent.
Yes, an
You know,
apiary
because
would be awesome.
of course the honey, but also the beeswax. You know, like beeswax candles are
Also
something that
bombs.
what?
Bombs. Like I actually have my friend, one of their friends has an apiary out in Houston, and
Bee balm.
so lip balm and like hand bombs
Oh,
that
okay, lip
it's like
balms.
vitamin
Okay.
E. Yeah, well, and
Yep.
I've got a hand version too, and one even with CBD for when my hands start getting sore and crampy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's absolutely lovely.
Yep. Yes, and of course to pollinate the gardens.
And I love honey. It's delicious. I'm perfect for soothing a sore throat.
Yep.
Beck, how
Actually,
hot did it get out there recently? I heard 120.
Actually, the original Pioneer cough syrup was a tablespoon of honey, a shot of whiskey, and a teaspoon of lemon juice.
I mean, that kind of makes sense.
Well, it would numb your throat for a while.
And, you know, my dad would make me basically lemon tea whenever I had a sore throat or a fever, and it was basically just lemon and water and sugar.
Try hibiscus. Try hibiscus tea. That really works well.
I love hibiscus tea. It's delicious.
I found that when I had a cold. I hadn't tried hibiscus tea. It was the first time I tried it, and I had a cold and I had a sore throat. So I would just okay, I just want something hot. I drank it and noticed it worked as good as a cough drop for about an hour.
I mean,
Yep,
tea in general is just good for the throat.
I actually already had plans drawn up that I never got to build, but using nothing more but stock 8-foot 2x4s, which are some of the cheapest lumber you can get, I could build a geodesic dome that would cover about a quarter of an acre. You know, and we could just like screen it in with window screens, so we could, you know, have it for the plants, and it would keep the squirrels and such things out of it. And if we had the bees inside there to pollinate things.
Do me a favor, consult with an engineer on the size of the geodesic dome and being made out of wood. I don't think you can really have that happen. The wood's not strong enough for a structure that size.
For the geodesic dome, it is. And I literally spent years in the U of M engineering library.
Mm-hmm.
You know, checking things like, you know, what was the shear and the compression strength of wood, and you know.
Wood would be just fine but not for a quarter acre. That's huge.
Yes, but the thing is that none of the individual struts are more than 8 feet long.
That doesn't matter when you put them together. It's one unit. It's the same reason why Noah's Ark can't exist, because the wood is not strong enough to accomplish the task that they would want it to. It's just not strong enough. It's good for other things in boating and stuff, but not for something that big.
Well, I have the calculations, and certainly I have no problem with having someone else recheck the calculations.
Yeah, metal reinforcement isn't that hard to do.
Well, and that's why I was thinking that, it could only be done with like a mesh screen. You couldn't do it and put a solid skin on it, because then it wouldn't be able to take the weight of, like snow accumulation on it and that. But if it, just had a very lightweight skin, I think you could do it. But even if we didn't go quite that big,
Even
I know
making
how to
several
scale them up or
smaller
down
ones.
very easily. Yep.
But anyways, I need to get going. I just wanted to pop in and say
Yeah.
hi to everyone and send, air hugs to you, Purple.
Yeah.
And I am very sorry for the
Appreciate
double
you
whammy.
being here. Yeah. Well, and like I say, it's Slothgirl had a lot of crafting supplies. She dabbled in a lot of different types of crafts. So it's like a lot of the stuff, I've got no idea what to do with it. So if somebody wants to speak up.
Like I said, I'll let others in the community that might want to dabble in it, take first dibs, but then once everybody's had their fair share, I'll take the knitting and crochet stuff left over. And just let me know, and I can pay you for shipping, so that's one less thing you have to worry about. But yeah, just keep in touch and like let me know about
Yeah.
like what all you have. Like maybe like you can send me some pictures or something. But you've got my number, so you can reach out anytime. Yeah, Sundays are just really sad. Like it was a Sunday that Rosie passed, and then a couple weeks later my sister rescued the
Yep.
kitten, and it was a Sunday the kitten passed, and just God, I don't like
I think
Sundays. Can we just remove it from the calendar?
Gray was just making a pun there.
Even still, like it speaks to me because of how sad my Sundays have been as of late. Pretty sure it's Sunday that my uncle passed too. So yeah, Sundays have been sucking. But anyways, I love you all and I miss you all. And I'm still here,
Good to see you again.
Yep. I hope to see
Yeah, it's
Survivor.
good to see
hope to
you.
see you pop in again.
Yeah, we'd like to
Yeah,
see you pop up on some other shows once in a while.
yeah, I'll definitely do that. Like, and not do it from my phone, but actually, like, I've got my camera and I've got a green screen. Like, I've got all the stuff I used to use for when I was on streams regularly, but I just haven't had the energy for any of
Well,
it.
Maybe even post a quick video once in a while of your son showing off his latest Lego creation, just so we know you're still going.
Honestly, yeah, I think I recorded one recently. Hey, Bugs, come here real quick. You want to show off your Lego mazes that you made? You want to show them to Miss Purple? Let me tilt it up. So he decided that he wanted to make some Lego mazes, and he's got little ball bearings that he's been like using through them. So this is the stone maze and the little ball bearings in there. And then there's the sand maze. And
Oh, that's cool.
There's the grass maze and the water maze. So,
Neat.
and then he made me this lovely flower to
That's
keep on my
cute.
desk.
Yep.
You want to say hi?
Very cool. Hello.
Yeah.
Hey.
She said hi. Hold on. Let me, I will apologize in advance if there's an echo, but so that he can hear what you guys say.
Has it changed the patch yet?
No. Okay.
So,
Hello.
Hello.
can you say hi?
Hello.
You almost what?
If there's an echo, there's an apology.
Yes, I apologized in case there
Yep.
was an echo. Oh, do you have your little snake friend that I made for you? You wanna go grab him?
If he likes the idea of the Lego mazes, look up on YouTube Lego Great Ball Contraption.
Ooh, I will definitely have to.
It's something that they do at the Lego conventions, that everybody makes a module that all hook together of passing balls from one to another.
Little snake
Herb,
friend.
did you get that link I gave you to the Lego that is being built by NASA out of moon regolith?
No, if you send it to me in DMs, I haven't really checked those. Like I was mentioning earlier, I just haven't.
I must have missed that one with everything that's been going on. I know I missed some messages on Twitter.
Little snake friend.
And I
That is
have,
one.
sitting right next to my chair, I have a purple axolotl that Slothgirl crocheted for me.
I actually made an axolotl for my sister. But yeah, I love how the striping came out.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going to get going.
That means you could be a snake handler for the commune.
I mean, that works. I like snakes. I like most animals.
Well, and
but-
unlike Kent Hovind, you'll never get bit.
So Richard, my kiddo, he said this one's gonna be the baby, and he wants me to use this rainbow yarn to make a jumbo mama snake. So
Okay.
that'll be my next project once I'm done dealing with a few other things that I gotta get done in front of it. But yeah, I made this little guy yesterday.
Yeah.
I think it came out pretty good.
I couldn't resist always, when I would find cute stuffed animals at the thrift store, I would feel sorry for them.
You gotta adopt
especially
them.
if they were ripped. Yeah, well, especially if they were like ripped or damaged, I'd have to take them home and fix them.
Of course.
And Slothgirl had one of those pet nets hanging over her bed, which eventually collapsed from the weight of all of them.
That's funny. Though, I mean, that's kind of essentially what I'm doing here with this sweater. Like, it could very easily be, like, if I made it different dimensions, it could very easily be, like, a net for, like, plushies.
Mm-hmm.
What? Sakura? You want to come say hi?
Oh,
Sweet girl.
Bree's got an idea for you. You could put magnets in them so the mommy and the baby'd stick together.
Hey, sweet girl.
That's a
say
good
hi?
idea.
So,
Hey, Puppo.
You can get
It's Sakura.
neodymium magnets really, really cheap online.
Oh, yeah. Magnets are pretty cheap. He's a sweet girl.
yeah, but how do they work?
Well, it's electromagnetic is what it is. See, and
I know how they work.
the FLIRF guy told me that's because the whole Earth is just a big magnet. It's not gravity; it's magnetism, and it's got to be true because the FLIRF told me that. So
No, it's not.
Oh, the kiddo?
It's not gravity. It's gravity. So it's grabbing you and pulling you down.
Yeah.
Down you go. Down you go. And not on the yarn.
Gravity is a myth. The real cause is that the Earth sucks.
I mean, not entirely wrong, but it's not so much the Earth, it's everyone on it that's ruining it for everybody.
Yeah, well, it's what we've done to it over the last few hundred years.
Not wrong. But Beck, I think he was talking about my kiddo. Yeah, he turned 10 in April. He is 10 years old now. Like, it's fucking wild thinking about it, like just how far he's come, like how big he's gotten. It's absolutely wild.
Just wait. The growth spurts haven't even been hit fully yet.
Like, it's my sister, like, I ended up calling her a bunch of, like, not safe for YouTube names because we were talking about, you know, if we win the lottery, we're gonna go in and build like our little community kind of thing. And she's like down for it. And we're like, you know, we'll make sure that her house is like, you know, next to ours, but like a distance away where like, and she's like, oh, we'll get you like a little golf cart or a little ATV so you can ride over and visit me at my house whenever. I'm like, yeah, but we'll probably want to put a governor on it because I don't want it to go too fast. And she's like, think about it. Even if we win the lottery today, like to build like the homestead that we want, it's going to take a couple of years. Like if if we don't win it in the next 2 years, he'll be permit age by the time that thing is done in 5 years. If and I'm like, no, shut your lying mouth. No, no, fuck you, no. No, 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 no. We are not thinking about my kid having a driver's permit in 5 years. So that was a thing. And I'm just like, no. So I called her every dirty name in the book and she just laughed in my face. Like I was indignant because I don't need the reminders. But like she's also kind of like, the best way to put it is like she's the backup parent. So like if anything happens to me and Michael, she's where my son would go. Like
Yeah.
she didn't want any kids of her own, but she's already like agreed that no, she is fine, you know, being the backup just in case. So like anything medical, any changes with Richard, I keep her in the loop, you know, because you never know. And having a special needs kid, like, and being kind of neurotic, I think of these things and they keep me up at night.
Well,
So it's like having a plan and making sure that she is apprised of every new development with regards to him, so that if something happened tomorrow, you know, it's one less thing that she would have to worry about, you
okay,
know.
if you have that plan picked out, I highly recommend, you know, that you get the legal papers drawn up to that effect.
Yeah, no, we're working on that.
Yeah. You know, just
Just
I had a horrible
CYA.
experience with my late fiance because we didn't have any legal paperwork. And I am just so glad that with Slothgirl, we got it done just under the line. We literally did not get all those papers notarized until like a week before.
At least it was done though, you know.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you
we were still
know,
expecting she had several months and it kept getting put off. But so
yeah,
I'm just so glad that we got it done when we did.
absolutely. And honestly, I'm just glad that she's not in pain anymore, you know, because hearing that she was in so much pain at the end, like that breaks me a little because honestly, I don't want anyone to be in that kind of pain. Like as someone
Yeah.
who has dealt with pain every minute of the day since I was 19 years old, it's exhausting and fucking soul crushing. And she was such a lovely light of a human being that,
Yeah.
you know, the idea of her hurting just is very upsetting. And that's like the only real solace that I have, is that she's not in pain anymore, you know, and she knew that she was loved. And in the end, like that's all any of us can really hope for, is, you know, that we don't suffer, you know, as much as possible, and that we know that people care about us.
Yeah, that people have some good memories of us after we go.
That too. I mean, I don't have any personal memories with her because I never got the ability to meet her in person, but it made my day when she asked me to make something for her. And I worked really hard figuring out how I wanted to make it work. And I was so proud of how it turned out in the end. And to hear that she still used it, you know, that really brought me a lot of joy. So
Oh
thank
yeah,
you for
she's
that.
got a full set of crochet hooks in there.
I
And
love
that
that so much.
well and part of that was one of the things that, you know, I always had to grab for her bag when she went in the hospital so that she would have every size of hook available with her when she was in there.
I'll
Which
be
is,
right back.
it's
Yeah.
nice because like I've been doing a lot more crochet as opposed to sewing, because when I'm sewing, sitting at my sewing table, like my pain levels have been a lot worse because like my mood's been a lot worse. And again, those things are tied. So I just haven't had the energy or like enough like really good days where I could really like sit in and crunch out some stuff with sewing. So having the yarn where I can be in my chair where I've got my legs propped up with pillows just so, and I'm at my computer so I can like have a video playing on YouTube of like different like crochet inspiration
Uh-huh.
ideas. And it's something I can do anywhere, on a car ride or while my kiddo's in therapy.
Yeah.
So it's nice having something that I don't need to bring a lot with me, although I do have a couple bags I bring with me when I'm going in the car on therapy days, because I'll take my kiddo to the park and I'll work on crochet for a
Yeah.
bit while he's running around the park, because the park I take him to, it's a nice quiet one that it's fenced in all around and there's only one entrance in or out. And
Yeah.
he's old enough now that, I give him a little bit of freedom. So it's like
Right.
I will let him run around the park because it's a safe enclosed space.
Yeah.
And I make sure that he checks in for water breaks, and like he knows the rules of no leaving the park, no talking to strange grown-ups. If there's a problem, come to me. Make sure you check in and drink water regularly. But other than that, I let him play and have fun with other kids and just run
Mm-hmm.
and be a kid.
Yep.
And so I'll just have something to work on, like a little bag with some yarn and some
Yeah.
hooks, and I'll just work on stuff while he's playing, because I don't have the energy to chase him, which is why I'm glad this park exists, because there's so much for him to do there. And I can sit at a bench where I can see where everyone comes in and leaves. Like it's right next to the
Yep.
exit to the park. So I know he can't leave without me seeing it.
Yeah. But also having portable projects was important. When Slothgirl was doing the chemo that was being done, I forget what's called, basically with an IV, but she didn't actually have an IV. She had one of the ports installed
Right.
because she was doing it all
My
the
mom
time.
had a port. Yeah, my mom
Yeah.
had a port for her chemo.
Yeah, but when she was doing that stuff, they were sessions that would take 3 to 4 hours that she couldn't get out of the chair.
Almost
So
like
she
if
always
you're in
need,
for dialysis,
yeah,
where you're just stuck there for hours and it's like you can't really do anything.
yep, yeah. So that she always had to have a knitting or crocheting project with her that she could do with that. She used to browse Pinterest a lot for ideas and to find new patterns.
Yeah, Pinterest, Ravelry, TikTok, YouTube. Like I found a bunch of like fiber artists that I've started following and to get inspiration from. But I've been working on this little by little as we've been going. So this is the front part. So it's essentially gonna be like this to
Mhm.
match up with Moxie's hair.
Yep.
And I'm excited. I'm gonna get to meet her in a week because she's flying in to meet up with my friend who hired her when she left the company she was working for. So like it's brilliant. I'll have this done and then so the other thing is they're making her a Quinky Miss Frizzle dress because she's basically a spicy educator. So, and now she's like an on-staff educator for a kink
Mhm.
brand. So, they're making her a Miss Frizzle dress, but make it spicy. And so I'm going to find a way to like turn one of the Hitachis into like a little like lizard pet, kind of like the
Mhm.
lizard that Miss Frizzle had.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking I'll do the tail and do like a little bullet for like a bullet vibe, like at the end of the tail. So like it could just like go over the shoulder and I'll put like little eyes on it and like maybe little legs and a little smile or something. Like I'm workshopping it in my head of how I'll do it.
So she'll
But
be misfrazzled.
yeah, I mean a good orgasm will do that to you. I mean, like I'm saying, like, if you haven't gone temporarily deaf, or given yourself tinnitus from climax, then you're not doing it right. Which, fun fact, is actually something that can happen. Here I am putting on my my little Moxie cap here. Yeah, you can actually come so hard that you get ringing in your
No,
ears or go temporarily deaf.
I got a question about those things. Is that black and white, or is that white and black?
Ooh, it depends on your perspective.
Could you name it Frank Gorshin?
Nope, it's zebra skin.
Yeah, honestly,
never
I
tell
like
you.
that. No, I like that because the whole, the zebra ribbon for people with uncommon ailments, because,
Yep.
if you hear hoofbeats in Central Park, it's not always horses. It could be a zebra. And so that's like the zebra condition. So as someone who
Yeah.
has the zebra condition, I like that we're just calling it zebra.
One of the stuffies I got for Slothgirl is a black zebra with rainbow stripes.
That's amazing. And very Lisa Frank. Like, I'm getting millennial, like, memberberry flashbacks here.
Is that
Well, he's
that
gonna need a home.
That rainbow is like a little
Rude?
doll, or how big? Like Little Pony size, or how big is it?
No, it's maybe 10 inches long.
Do you think they're still available out there?
This is the only one I've ever seen. I don't know where it came from. I happened across it in the thrift store, and he had a broken neck. So I had to fix his neck.
Jenny, I will see. Like, I'll put it on my list. I don't know when I will be able to get to it, but I will see if I can find a zebra, crochet pattern, and I will see if I can make one for you. But again, it's like I've got a lot of other stuff on the list that I need to get to, but I will make a note of it, and when I get to it, I'll let you know.
I have one here that somebody has to adopt.
Even better. Like, then you wouldn't have to wait. But I figured you'd want to keep it purple.
Well, I'd want to keep all of her stuffed animals, and that would cause me problems. But I've already I have a selection. Mostly, I kept the Otter family.
Okay.
Aw.
But anyways, I said I needed to go 10 minutes ago, and I still haven't gone because I've missed everybody so much.
Okay. Well, we have been going over 2 hours. I think maybe we should just wrap it up here. Partially because I am not getting much sleep myself, so I was afraid I was going to doze off during the stream.
Well, I'm glad that I was able to be here for at least part of it, and rest
I'm
in
glad
power,
we got to see you
sweet
again.
sloth girl.
Well, even when you just text me, I still worry. Like I said, I know you're very busy, taking care of your kid and all that, and your whole family.
Yeah. Things have been hella stressful, but I do appreciate when you check in with me. It really means the world. I love you all, and I will catch you all later.
Be good. Coming back again.
Oh, I didn't see the Scummer said.
Yeah. Scummer has to be spanked.
Before I go, just in memory of Slothgirl, I recently adopted a cat from a blacksmith. As soon as I brought him home, he made a bolt for the door. Okay.
Bum.
I hadn't read the whole thing through, so I didn't realize it was a pun. Oh, and Pirate Kitty. Yeah, we haven't seen much of you in a long time either. Yeah, but I think this would be a good point to wrap it up here. And we appreciate everybody who came, everybody who contributed jokes. Beck, I've been through this before, so Yeah, all I can say is it gradually gets easier. It never goes away. I have still, even in the span of the last 6 months, had times when I've run into something in the store that my first response is that would have made a great, that would be a great present for my fiance, before I, kicks back to, yeah, there's no way I can give it to her. And at times it has brought me to the verge of tears in the store.
Know how that is. I come
So,
across stuff like that before.
yeah, so I think that to some degree it never completely heals. There's always going to be something there.
If I think about my mom in certain ways at certain times, I'll break down. And that was back in '87 that she passed.
Yep.
It stays with you forever.
Yeah.
The first year is always going to be the hardest, though. That's what I found.
I won't disagree.
Yeah, that's it. It does somewhat heal over after it's been a few years. It doesn't hit as often, but yeah. So, Jenny, you have any final words? Anything you want to say in closing here?
I don't know. I guess pretty much just gather the people you love and tell them that and show them that and be with them.
Yep. Mage, you got anything? And if you want to plug your other channel, or
Yeah. You saw the video earlier, so you can go check out my new channel there. Mage's Media Musings.
that short video you showed here of, cutting some of Slothgirl's jokes, that was wonderful.
Yeah, I put that together after hearing about Slothgirl. I figured I'd do that for my next video. So I got a few other things in the pipes.
Yeah.
Pipes for that channel, and I also have another video I want to try and get put together. It was one that Slothgirl suggested of doing something on fertilizer manure, just make jokes on how shitty it is.
Yeah.
So I want to see if I can get that together.
Can you send me a copy of that short videos just so I can show it to her daughter and her son?
Oh yeah, no, I can send. It's on my channel, so I can send you a link to it.
Yeah, I just I don't know, if either of them really gets on YouTube, so I need to download a copy.
Oh.
That I could send them an email to make sure.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, would appreciate it. Yeah. And the bringing Slothgirl's kitty down, I was kind of concerned. I mean, this apartment definitely does not have the space for the 3 cats, but everybody seems to be doing pretty well. There's no outward aggression. There's occasional hissing, but that's just Petunia saying, "Stay out of my way."
Okay, so what you're planning is you're going to try and rehome Ethan?
Yeah, well, Ethan would be the easiest to rehome, and also, Sammy's son and Petunia, have been with me a lot longer, and Petunia would be impossible to rehome because Petunia does still get bitey, and she would bite someone twice and they would give up and throw her back in a shelter, and I can't allow that to happen. I know she doesn't mean anything by it. It's like she'll bite me and she'll immediately apologize. But I know that, nobody else is going to put up with that when they just take her in. So I'm going to have to be the one to take care of her. And I just I I never thought Petunia would outlive Slothgirl. That's all.
Hmm.
So yeah, I have to take care of Petunia and Sammy's son, and Ethan is the kind of kid everybody wants. You know, he's adorable. He's cuddly. He's got silky soft fur, and all he wants to do is sit in your lap all day. So if somebody wants a lap cat, he'll be perfectly happy with that. And he's not at all aggressive or anything, and he's not destructive. He just doesn't want to share.
Oh, he's a Republican cat.
Well, I wouldn't insult him like that. But yeah, it's just since Ethan has been here, Sammy's son is not getting any lap time because Ethan's always hogging my lap and always trying to keep Sammy off the chair. So I just can't let that continue. I can't let him ruin Sammy's good life. But I'm sure that Ethan could have a very happy life with somebody else.
All right.
Sorry, I always start rambling when I start talking about that. Okay, so anyone else have any
Yes.
last minute things?
See the avatar? It's a penis shaped iceberg.
Oh yeah, I saw that picture of the iceberg. But yeah, let's enlarge it so other people can see it.
Enlarge the penis-shaped iceberg.
But just rub it a little bit, it'll be fine.
Yeah, but don't rub it too much. Too much friction will melt it.
Apparently, it was seen outside of the town in Newfoundland that Jimmy Kimmel is the mayor of. Dildo. It's the name of the town.
I saw that, and I didn't know if that was just a joke. Is Dildo actually the name?
Yep, and they actually had voted him in as mayor in their last election. I don't know if he's running for re-election this year.
Yeah, I had heard that he was elected.
I think that's outrageously funny.
Yeah. John Oliver got a town to name a sewage plant after him.
Aww.
Oh, and there's one of your old puppies.
Yeah, Cubby.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that, everybody, we will bid you all a goodbye. We will be back here again same time next week, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Central. Also for everybody here, I am kind of running out of holidays because we've been doing this for 7 years now.
Nah, we're not running out of holidays.
So, well, they do keep generating new ones, it's true, but I'm just gonna say that I'm also willing to.
Why can't you make one up like it's National Empty Toilet Paper Roll Day?
And redoing ones every so often isn't bad.
Yeah, I tried to make one up. I was going to make up Refrigerator Day, and then I found out somebody had beat me to it and had already created the holiday. So I can't make shit up that's stupider than what people have already done.
Well, I'll see what I can come up with.
But no, that's why I was just going to say that, if anybody in the audience, anybody in the side chat wants to, suggest a topic, we're open to ideas.
Well, today is National Kitten Day.
Well, she left.
Oh, yeah. Too bad we didn't bring that up when Kitty was here.
We also have National Pina Colada Day. And so you got like four choices for today if we didn't have the Slothgirl thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even look at what it was for today just because, I needed to do the memorial for Slothgirl. There was no.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, there was no choice on that one. Oh. Okay. Well, goodbye, all. We will see you all later.
Take care,
I'm
Ted.
hitting the button.
Be gay, do crime.